How do you know when your guide is trying to reach you? You're going to feel it before you see it, because you are empathic. Okay. You are incredibly clairsentient. So you're really going to feel it before you see it. So just follow that. Trust your feelings. So the reason that we don't connect with our spirit guides is because we don't have the faith we don't have the trust in ourselves. We worry that we are making it up, that we are not doing it right. We think that other people, like Ingrid found her spirit guide, but of course she did. She knows how to do that. I don't know how to do that, but that's just not the case. Be open to how they want to show up. I'm getting knocking on the door. That's what Mons is doing. Knock. They're always knocking on the door. Your spirit guide wants to be connected with you. And it's all permission based. It's all about you allowing your spirit guide to come in and connect and help guide you and be a big part your life. And that happens if you give them permission, if you give your guides permission to do that. Don't worry about putting a form to the spirit guide. The reason Mons shows up in the form that he does clearly visually for me is so that I can channel messages from him, because a part of my life purpose is to channel my spirit guide. So he's my spirit guide, but he's here to have a farther reach than that, because I have the farther reach. That's part of my agreement, what I'm here to do in this lifetime. Your spirit guide may or may not show up that way. Your guide may just show up with giving you signs and symbols and synchronicities in your daily life. Maybe just that impulse, that intuition, or that little knock that is so familiar to you, and you don't put it together with the fact that it's your guide. It's your guidance system is what it is. Mons is my guidance system. He's me. So your guide is you. And how this shows up is completely open and subject. And the other thing he's saying, ask, pray, ask to be shown, and ask for the faith to trust what you are getting. And the more you trust what you are getting, the more your guide and guides will show up for you in more profound ways. But it's got to start with you. It's got to start with the faith. It's got to start with your faith, right? Now, my understanding about spirit guides is we have many guides. Ancestors are often guides. Departed loved ones will step into the shoes of a guide. But we typically have one main man or main woman, as I call it, and they are there for a life. Other guides might be there for a period or a season or come and go, but your main guide is sort of there for life. Our ancestors, that actually brings me to a good one that's wanting to come through, talking about our ancestors. If we are all, and why do our ancestors in this body matter? Why does it matter? And it's because it's a way to connect with you through spirit in your physical body. We're very hooked in and entangled into our physical existence, our physical experience. And spirit has no problem writing that, no problem working that, okay? No problem whether it's using our physical environment or using our ancestry. Human beings are hardwired to be deeply connected with our ancestry because it's our DNA makeup. It's the stuff we're made of. We are made of the stuff of our ancestors. So we're very connected to that. So our ancestors show up in spirit. Our spiritual tribe shows up in the costume of our ancestors, the garb of our ancestors, to help us wake up, to cheer us on, to connect with us, to drive us forward. So it's a really powerful way for spirit to connect and communicate with a lot of us having this human experience in the human body. What are the different types of entities? I have different types of beings who connect with us. So I'm still getting information about this. And one spirit guides, a spirit guide, the way I define a spirit guide is a soul tribe member and a piece of myself. These two things somehow work hand in hand. This is somebody who what I felt about the spirit guide is they're essentially in this incarnation to get with you at the same time, but you're in a body and they're in spirit. And the spirit guide is here to help you and to assist you. That's what we're here for. That's what the spirit guide is here for. You can also connect with angels, and angels were something that I never felt resonated with, but they started showing up. Angels are really, they're extra dimensional beings. They're very powerful. They will show up for more than one person typically. So they won't be sort of latched specifically onto you. Also, there's another being. There's a group of 4 beings, which are your committee, and they are extra dimensional. And the sense I get from them, and again, I don't like to use hierarchy, but sometimes it's just easier because that's the world we live in. If we're here, our extra dimensional beings are up here, and they come down. Our committee will sometimes come down to connect with us, to connect with a channel through you. And it's a really intense experience, really beautiful experience, and like, whoa, kind of blows you out for the rest of the day. I run into a few of those for people, and it's just been phenomenal. There are also gods and goddesses. Now I've connected with Ganesha. I've connected with Shiva. Some of the Hindu gods and goddesses. I've connected with Freya. Gods and goddesses are not gods and goddesses in the sense that we think of them and as in mythology or, the Lord God. They are just a different sort of being. They're sort of like a spirit guide, but they're global. They're more global, and they embody everything that connects with us is embodying energy that serves us, that we can energetically pull off of, whether we're conscious of it or not, but particularly when we're conscious of it and we're really allowing that energy to come into our life.